Modern Warfare 4 is almost here, and everything Call of Duty has done over the last few years, I think there's really only one question that matters. Is MW4 actually going to be good? Because Infinity Ward is making some very big promises. A new movement, 12 brand new 66 maps, classic prestige, a completely redesigned multiplayer experience, DMZ is coming back, and we're even getting a multiplayer map that can literally change its layout. So today, I want to go through everything we know about Modern Warfare 4 before we finally get our hands on it, and talk about whether this could actually be one of the best Modern Warfare games we've gotten in years. But first, let's start with the most important thing, the multiplayer. Because I'm going to be honest, the campaign can be amazing, DMZ can be amazing, the graphics can look incredible, but if the multiplayer isn't good, most of us are not sticking around, and Infinity Ward seems like they know that. Modern Warfare 4 is launching with 12 completely new core 6v6 maps. Not 12 maps where half of them are remastered, 12 new maps. And honestly, that already has my attention. We know some of these maps are going to cover completely different environments, including areas based around Korea, New York, and other locations from the game's worldwide conflict. But there's one map, or really one multiplayer experience that stands out way more than everything else, and that's going to be Kill Block. Kill Block might be one of the weirdest multiplayer ideas Call of Duty has tried in a while. Instead of playing the exact same layout every match, parts of the map is going to change. Different pathways, different cover, different sightliness, different routes. Infinity Ward says there could be hundreds of different configurations. And I actually really like this idea, because I think about what normally happens to a COD map after a month. Everyone knows the head glitches, everyone knows the rush routes, everybody knows where you're probably going to be standing 5 seconds after the round starts. But imagine loading into the same map, and suddenly the route you used last game isn't there anymore. That could actually force people to adapt instead of playing around every single time on autopilot. The only question is whether it's going to feel refreshing or completely random. Because for competitive COD, especially, consistency matters. And if the map changes too much, I could definitely see people getting frustrated with it. Then we have movement, and this might be the biggest make or break feature in the entire game. Infinity Ward is describing MW4 multiplayer as having more fluid movement with greater player control. And that wording is important, because one of the biggest arguments inside the COD community every single year is how fast should COD actually be. You've got one side that wants crack movement, side canceling, aggressive punches, and a huge mechanical skill gap. Then you get another group that wants Modern Warfare 4 to stay slower, grounded, and tactical. MW4 looks like it's trying to land somewhere around the middle, and personally, that's probably the smartest thing they could do. Give good player mechanics they can master without making every gunfight look like someone drank 600 drinks before hitting the Q button. But we're not really going to know how good it feels until the beta. And something else I'm very happy to see them focusing on. It's progression. Modern Warfare 4 is bringing back classic prestige, but there's actually a twist. You're going to have two choices. Classic Prestige gives you the old school experience, where you reset your creator class unlocks in exchange for additional progression and rewards. But if you don't want to lose your loadouts, there's also a regular Prestige option, where you can restart your level while keeping your creator class content. Honestly, why hasn't COD been doing this already? People who want to grind get the grind. People who just want to use their weapons don't have to unlock everything again. Everybody wins. Weapons are getting some changes too. Obviously, Gunsmith is returning, but Modern Warfare 4 is introducing something called Apex attachments. Basically, fully progressing a weapon can unlock a specialized attachment that significantly changes the way the weapon performs. Handling, firing behavior, stealth, utility, even potentially the role the weapon has. And this could either be really cool or an absolute balancing nightmare. Imagine grinding a gun all the way to max level just to unlock an attachment that suddenly turns it into the best weapon in the game. Especially once ranked play arrives, weapon balancing is going to have to be something I'm watching very closely. Because we all know what happens when COD launches with one completely broken gun within about 48 hours. Everyone's using it. And then there's DMZ. Yes, DMZ is officially coming back. And this doesn't sound like they're just throwing the old version back into the game either. MW4's DMZ is centered around the Hygiene Exclusion Zone, and Infinity Ward is pushing it as a much more dynamic extraction experience, changing conditions, different objectives, looting, crafting, weapon conditions, enemy escalation, and obviously PvP. The entire idea seems to be making every deployment feel unpredictable. You go in, decide what you're willing to risk, and get whatever you came for, and hopefully get out before another squad ruins the entire night. If Infinity Ward actually supports DMZ long term this time, I genuinely think it could be one of the biggest parts of MW4. And even though multiplayer is probably what most of us are here for, we have to talk about the campaign. Modern Warfare 4 takes place after the events of Modern Warfare 3, and Captain Price isn't exactly following the rules anymore. The main conflict centers around massive war on the Korean peninsula, while Price essentially operating outside the system and continuing his own mission. We're We're getting battles in Korea, close quarter fighting in New York, missions in Paris, SAS operations in Mumbai, and huge city scale battles. And Infinity Ward has described this campaign almost like a return to what made classic Call of Duty campaigns special. Big cinematic movement, different types of missions, and more linear, handcrafted experiences. Which sounds great, but there's something else I think is way more important. MW4 doesn't need some insane revolutionary feature. It doesn't need to reinvent Call of Duty. It just needs to get the basics right. Good maps, good guns, good movement, a real progression system, balanced competitive gameplay, and a reason to keep playing after the first month. Because Call of Duty's biggest problem isn't getting people to buy the game. Millions of people are already going to play MW4 regardless. The real challenge is getting those people to still care 3 months later. And looking at what Infinity Ward has revealed so far, I actually think MW4 has a good chance. 12 new multiplayer maps, classic prestige, new movement, kill block, a deeper weapon progression system, DMZs coming back, a huge campaign. There's a lot here. But we've heard promises before. And thankfully, we don't have to wait until launch to find out. The Modern Warfare 4 early access beta starts August 21st, and the completely free open beta begins August 28th. And that's when we're really going to find out what kind of game this is, because trailers can make anything look good. The beta can. I'm going to be covering MW4 heavily when the beta drops, especially multiplayer, weapons, ranked, and everything we learn leading into launch. So if you're planning on playing Modern Warfare 4, make sure you're subscribed. And let me know down below, what is one thing MW4 absolutely has to get right? Is it the maps, movement, weapons, ranked, matchmaking, or something completely different? I'll see you guys in the next one.